Okay, here we go. Episode 2, ready to go. For the 6 people in here, say hello in the chat as always, right? Let me know you're here. For the OGs who came in the beginning. Legend, also, before we get into it, I don't know what you mean about the 20 cents. What is that? All good though. Thank you for still following on the Purple app. Only if you want me here. What up, Reven? Okay, so first, what I'd like to say is for the few people in here that may not be subscribers, I do want to start every podcast out basically saying, hey, if you can't afford it, I completely understand. But if you don't want to deal with the ads throughout the podcast, even if you only stop in every Monday for the talk, using that Prime subscription would get those ads away so you can listen to the full conversation with no interruption. But here we go. So today we have episode 2 coming at you. We have Sergeant Perera here live with us. We're going to be going through some good questions. I think it's going to be a good change of pace from last week where that was the Lance Corporal in the Marine Corps, right? So a lower rank. And the unique thing about Sergeant Perera here is that he... No. We'll get into it. Is he gives a unique viewpoint on the Marine Corps due to what his path was right after joining the Marine Corps and like where he is now. And we'll get into that later. But without further ado, let's have him introduce himself. Here we go.
Well, episode 2. First name Sanuka, last name Perera. I'm a sergeant in the Marine Corps. I work with Reagan over here. Great dude. Known him for a year now. And
that's true. It has been a year.
I'm excited to be on this podcast.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. Okay. Awesome. Well, without further ado, let's get into it. So, I first met Perera, right? When I PCS here. He has been here, correct me if I'm wrong, for 5 years?
Yeah.
Is it 5?
Dude, 5.
Oh my God.
As of March 20th, it's going to be completed 5 going on 6.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so March 20th hits 5. So that's 5 years here on 29 Palms, which is
desert.
Definitely unique. I mean, I was in the same situation over at Camp Pendleton. However, the only difference is that while I was on Camp Pendleton, I re-enlisted twice.
And he's still a sergeant. That's the crazy part.
He hasn't, or he just re-enlisted, but he'll be PCSing for the first time in 5 years while completing his first full contract here on 29 Palms.
Negative. I completed my first contract as a 23.
23. Oh, so yeah. Did you extended here?
I extended.
Okay, perfect.
So that was the thing. So with mine, it was came in with a 4-year contract.
Yeah.
And then obviously 2.5 years in, got into that first situation.
Uh-huh.
Then my old partner was like, hey, one of the options is you can extend. We'll talk about it later in the podcast.
But you extended here.
I extended. So as of 23, I completed my first 4.
Got it.
And then 24 was that extension year, and then I re.
Got it. Okay. Interesting. And let's see. This is why I'm excited to do this stuff, because it's like, yeah, that is unique to the Marine Corps. It's not the normal route, right? Okay. So first question I would have for you, right, just to start it off, because I know your path, but we're gonna get into it with them. What made you originally join the Marine Corps? Like, not why you wanted to join, but why you chose the Marine Corps over any other branch.
So started when I was young. Like, genuinely,
yeah.
I knew if I went to college, because I played lacrosse growing up.
Okay.
Big party sport. You know, you grew up in the East Coast.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? This is definitely not going to be how I'm going to get through life.
Uh-huh.
Then I've always had the itch to become military, join.
Right.
And then I think it was sophomore year, my buddy was talking about joining the Marine Corps.
Okay.
And then me and him, we were just joking around, and then my cousin's boyfriend at the time.
Was a Marine?
No, he was a senior in high school, and he signed up.
Oh,
and
wow.
me and him, we were super competitive.
And you joined out of high school?
Yeah.
Like
Right after high school.
Right after high school.
So
Okay,
like
gotcha.
he went in first, and then he was in for.
Did he join the Marine Corps?
Yep.
Okay, so
He
you
was
basically
in-
just went.
Yeah,
with
he
him?
was in for a year and some change, and he was
Yeah.
talking to me about it. And then 6 of my other friends, all of us said, "All right, let's go."
And you just sent it?
Oh yeah, we just said.
See that? Okay, this is funny because for the people that were in here last week, or the people who watched it back on YouTube, you have Marines like this, right? You have Marine. I mean, every Marine's different. Every person joins for their own reason, and it's unique to hear because, for instance, Lance Corporal Lamb last week, he joined because he wanted to like prove something to his family, right?
Yeah.
He wanted to like. He didn't join right after high school. He joined, I think, after a year of college.
Yeah, he chose a different path.
Right, and it's unique to hear where or why people and how people got to where they are now.
Yeah.
But okay, gotcha. And so, and this is the unique process for you compared to me and other Marines in our specific MOS. When you were at the recruiting office, sat down with the Marine recruiter and did you choose your MOS off rip, or did he give you like a broad spectrum?
So they took the ASVAB, put a stack of paper down with like all the MOSs.
Okay.
That
qualified for it? Right.
At the time, 3 of my good buddies, they were like, "Hey, we're gonna go infantry."
And okay. You just wanted to straight up go.
I just wanted to go infantry with them.
Got it.
And then was a staff sergeant at the time, Staff Sergeant De Horta.
Got it.
He was like, "Look, man, that's not the route you want to take." I was like,
"The recruiter told you this." Oh, really? Okay.
And he was like, "Look, that's not the route you want to take. I know you love working on cars." And he was an LAV mech.
Oh,
and then he was like, "Look, this is what I do. I'm an LAV crewman. You would love it. You get to shoot all these guns. You get to drive the vehicles."
Right.
And I was like, "Okay." And then that's where the tanks contract was at.
Okay, so that's where I wanted to lead into, right? So you wanted 0311.
Mm-hmm.
He was trying to persuade you to do something else.
No, he denied it. He denied the. So I was like, I want.
You turned in the signature with the 0311. He was like, no.
Yeah, he was like, no.
I don't think that's a good route. Yeah. Okay.
And then
he did he give you that contract?
He gave me the tanks contract,
okay,
the AAV, and the LAV.
Got it.
He's like, look, out of these 3.
And so at that time, tanks was like a legitimate contract. Okay, got it. And this is something that you guys are going to learn new here is because and this is why he's a unique Marine. Define MOS. MOS is
military occupational specialty. It's basically our
job.
Fancy word of saying job.
Yep. So just different. So each MOS has a different code. For instance, we are both 7051s, right? Tanks was
2146 and or 1811, I believe.
2146, you said?
2146 is 1811 or 1812 was
18. Okay, gotcha. It was tanks. Yeah. So each one has a different code. But yeah, and okay, so you got your. So he gave you both those, and you were like, "This seems cooler," as far as tanks compared to the mech.
Like, basically, so I was a tank mech. So I got that contract, and I was like, I went home, did some research, and then in my head, I was like, "What 18-year-olds get to say I shot tanks?"
That's a good point. That's a large reason why, in my opinion, a lot of people go grunt or whatever. Real quick pause over on TikTok. Dragon's Motorcycle Club says, I leave for boot camp in a year for Marines. You have tips for me. If you're still in the chat, Dragons, if you want to hop over to the Purple app, aka the Twitch, I'd love to answer that question a little bit later, and we can pin that message in the chat. Okay, so that was your mindset,
so
right?
Like my mindset was
and
like,
so
how am I?
You had a choice.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
Like, basically, you had a choice, right?
Yeah,
Like
my recruiter did not fuck me over. He literally like laid everything out for me. Was
Yep.
like truly honest,
Yep.
and I was like, I got to choose what I wanted to do. And
Okay. See, and for the people in here who are not in the Marine Corps, right, or know anyone in the Marine Corps,
not even the Marine Corps, just like
in general,
in,
the
forces general.
military recruiters are tough in the aspect of like, depending on who you meet and depending on where you go, mental status of that recruiter might just be hitting a quota, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't care what you sign up for. He doesn't care when you leave.
They
He
just
doesn't-
need a number on the board.
Yeah, they just need a number on the board. And it's unfortunate. Definitely is unfortunate, but it happens. And it's cool to see and talk to people in that scenario where he gave you the choice and he was looking out for you
Oh, yeah.
because he said you wanted something. And he was like, I know that you're just picking that because you don't know what else there is. And he gave you the option, and that's really cool to see.
Dude, no, I still talk to him. He's in Pendleton right now.
Oh, really?
I think he's up for election. Or
Oh, nice.
don't know which one he's choosing, but
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, so you signed the tanks contract, right?
Yep.
And you left for boot camp, right? You were an East Coast Marine. You went to Paris Island.
Paris Island.
Yep. And so my question from the contract side of things, besides for the I want to shoot big guns stuff, did you know or do any research before you left for boot camp? Once you signed it, did you like know anything else going into boot camp?
Not really. So obviously went through the pool program and whatever we were doing there. But by that time I wasn't really like, I was skinny.
Uh-huh.
But like I could still run 3 miles at like 20-minute pace.
Right.
And like do 21 pull-ups and do all like physical aspect. It was just.
So as far as
more
like the MOS side of things, you really didn't know anything
the
going into
MOS
it.
side, I struggled at first.
Well, no, I'm saying like before you even got to boot camp, you didn't really even know what.
Oh, no,
besides for the word tanks,
I had no
idea what you were getting into. Okay, got it.
I kind of just like
that's
sent
interesting.
it. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna become a Marine. Then next thing you know, went to boot camp, came back, and then MCT, had a blast, and went to MOS school.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, what is his name?
I leave for boot.
Yeah, that was Dragons over from TikTok. Thank you for joining in on the Twitch, bro. I appreciate you. If you're liking the conversation, send a follow, or you can rewatch the episode on YouTube after it's done. But quick tips. I'm sure if you stay in for the conversation, you'll find out a little bit more tips along the way. But I will say this: if you're leaving for boot camp,
hey, thanks for the follow.
If you're leaving for boot camp,
and we met our goal.
in a year, I would just I would keep an open mind, right? Don't get nervous about it. Don't like treat it like it's some special forces crap, right? You're going to Marine boot camp. It's going to be tough. Just, train a little.
Not just that, have fun with it. You are going to meet some of the guys that you will stay with for life.
Yeah, I agree. It's a great experience. I feel like it opens a lot of doors, and it's a great decision. Just keep in shape, right? Don't go there looking to get in shape. Try and get into a little bit of shape so you don't fall behind the curve in the first couple of weeks, right? And it's like a shell shock more than it already is because you're in a new area, new people. You're going to get sick. It's going to be miserable. But yeah, just have fun with it, man. Thank you for the follow also. Thank you for joining, bro. Okay, so back to it.
I said we talk a little bit more. So at the recruiting depot, or like at my recruiting station, one thing that you can do is the buddy program.
Yeah, the Poolie program.
If you have the chance, pair up with a buddy.
Yeah,
because me and my 6 friends literally 4 of us ended up being in lead or follow series.
Yeah, and
the other 2 ended up being in follow or lead.
Oh, series. That's cool. That's really cool.
And I was literally bunking with my buddy.
Yeah. So you knew at least someone. Okay, and he's going MSG. That's interesting. So actually, I just found out the other day from one of my followers on TikTok. We were playing Call of Duty together, and he was telling me about this. So he is a Marine over in Georgia right now.
Yeah.
he signed up to be an MSG contract, but then got to ITB and ended up not qualifying for it for whatever reason. And so he's still obviously like 0311, but he is working with the doing security something over in Georgia, right? It's like the three, you can either go MSG, you can either do like the fast group or whatever it's a QRF group, and then you do the security detail here in the, I think it's.
So there's two ways you can go MSG. Go right off the rip with that
I didn't know that. Yeah.
Or you can go PMO and then qualify.
PMO for qualify. Okay.
So
got
you
it.
have to be an MP.
I think it's a great decision. I didn't know that you can go MSG right off rip. I think if you're coming out of high school, I think it's an awesome opportunity. You're going to get to travel the world as a a young Marine, and I think it puts a good mindset into the Marine Corps for you because you get to see so much compared to, I'd like to say, some Marines that get stationed here for the first.
Some Marine, all Marines.
Marines that get stationed here, for instance, and all they know is the desert, right? So I think that's awesome for you, dude. I think that's awesome. Okay, back to it. So chose tanks. You went to boot camp. You went to West Coast ITB or East Coast ITB? East Coast. Okay.
If you start East Coast, you
finish East Coast. I was different because I went West Coast ITB, East Coast boot camp, West Coast.
Yeah, because it's easier, or it's closer.
Well, for recon, I had to go to West Coast ITB. But okay, so you're
it was for the recon purposes.
So you're at ITB. Now, this is the one thing that I didn't get to see because at the point in ITB where like I don't graduate as ITB, right? Do you guys, because you're a tank contract, and where I think I'm getting confused is, how like, let's say a crash crew guy, right?
Okay.
Let's say he signs that 7,000 MOS field.
Yep, where it's field specific.
Right, and then he gets to boot camp, and then he finds out what MOS in the 7,000 category he gets. Is tanks the same?
Yeah, so that's across everything. You don't find out till MC.
Right.
Because you have to graduate boot camp.
Right.
Get to MCT.
Yep.
Once you graduate MCT, that's when they give you your contract.
Right. Okay. And then so you signed the contract though, right? So going into it, did you think I'm going to get tanks? And then at some point in MCT and ITB, did you think, wait, am I getting this?
Or honestly, I don't remember.
Okay. Was there a moment where you were told you're tanks?
From the get-go, yes.
From the get-go.
It was like tanks had such a high failure rate.
Okay.
So they knew they needed body.
Gotcha. Okay, so they were trying pulling people in.
They were trying to pull bodies.
And
like meet a quota.
Right.
But also they knew if 10 people pick up this contract, maybe like 4 or 5 will fill it.
Got it. Okay, so
it was a good slot. They weren't going to take my contract away.
Right.
They needed somewhere
else.
As
far as you, like, at graduation, I guess, of ITB, were you told, hey, you're going to this unit with tanks?
No, you have to go. You have to go to schoolhouse. That's
no. I know. I'm saying before that though. Like, were you going, or then not unit, but were you told, hey, you group guys, and list off these names, you guys are going to tanks?
Yeah.
Okay, got
it. That's how it goes.
And then another group was, you guys are going.
You guys are going here.
0311.
Yeah.
You got machine gunners over here. Okay, got it. And that's, I think, the unique thing, because someone like the guy in the chat, right? He will kind of do the same scenario where he gets to ITB and he'll be told
close quarter combat and everything.
Yep.
And then literally whoever's in that group, say like 10 Marines that are also going to MSG, they're going to be like, hey, you 10, you guys are going to this schoolhouse. Pack your stuff.
Right. Okay, that's interesting, because I feel like it is the same for a lot of people, but it's also not, because, for instance, people that go to MCT, they already know what they're going to before.
Surprisingly not, it's the same thing.
Is it?
Yeah,
Because that's interesting. Because
it's just different.
well, they have different stuff they do in MCT and ITB, but that's interesting. So so before we move on, I would like to ask you at ITB, because I personally had like a blast at ITB. I think it was fun. Is there one story that you'd like to tell the viewers on, like, something that sticks out to you, whether it's funny, motivational, like whichever one you want to pick, right?
Honestly, I don't remember ITV that well
Okay.
because it was a horror story.
Oh, it was just
It was so bad.
oh, okay. Just one of
'Cause
those
It was
wake up, hike, shoot.
September.
Oh,
It was
cold,
rainy, miserable.
yeah. And for people that don't know, ITB and MCT on the East Coast is held in Lejeune. Okay. So, and then on the West Coast, it's on Pendleton.
It's
Yeah.
like part of Pendleton.
Yeah. So Camp Pendleton, California is for the West Coast guys. East Coast is for Camp Lejeune, which is in where's Camp Lejeune?
It's in Carolina.
North Carolina. That's how much I don't. That's how much I don't know. Okay,
Dude, you've been,
so,
you've been in
I blanked. So okay, is there? So you were just kind of just going through.
It was just get out of there as soon as I can.
As fast as possible, right? Like put your head down, graduate as fast as possible. Okay, so you get to graduate at ITB. Tell us a little about tank school, because I obviously
honestly the best time of my life.
Yeah. Where was it held?
Georgia.
Okay.
Fort Benning.
Got it.
So,
it's Army base.
Army base. So you get squad base.
Yep.
You live in a squad base.
For the schoolhouse.
Yeah.
Oh.
So and
that's interesting.
Jump school's there too. So you have MARSOC there. And one of the funny stories is we would wrestle with MARSOC because we would be hockey.
Well, they're there as their
for jump school.
Yeah, for jump school.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
It was split into two. It was three or like different squad base.
Yep.
In the same building.
Yep.
Like MARSOC in one, and tanks on the other two.
Yep.
And we would get into wrestling matches because the gym that we had inside had a wrestling
a mat in it. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. That is cool. And that's where it's like, it's funny because each MOS school I feel like is so unique to where it could be in a random state that outside or that inside the Marine Corps you probably won't go to again.
Dude, I've never been to Georgia before.
Right.
Tank school.
But like, for instance, we don't even really have a base in Georgia, right? Yeah. We just have training there. And then like, that's the only other time, like for instance, with Crash Crew, we go to San Angelo, Texas, but unless we go back there for like training or something, right? We'll never have the opportunity to get stationed there, for instance. So it's interesting because a lot of the schoolhouses that Marines go to are like not on a Marine Corps installation. It's either in Florida, right?
I want to say that's because we're like so
small,
mission oriented.
Uh-huh.
So like our base, like, yes, we're a training center.
Yeah.
But like all our units are personnel that are ready to get deployed.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Rather than
a handful is like
rather than another base
that's
different or dedicated to training. I see what you're saying.
Because we don't have that funding either.
Right.
So it's like big picture wise, it kind of does make sense. Like, we train in our own yard and then we go.
And then that's true. That's a good point.
Instead of us, and like for tanks, we were training with the Army, which they already had the program set up, and Army was funding all our equipment.
Right, because they have such a large tanks. That's the largest in the country. So that's true. Well, now it is. But we'll get into that. Okay, so you're at school. Yep. Okay, school was a blur.
No, school was fun.
School was fun.
School was amazing. Even
Okay.
though we were getting, are we allowed to cuss?
Sort of.
We were getting shafted left and right.
Okay. Just okay, and I feel like that's just most grunt schools is like there's Staples just sent a freaking galaxy on TikTok, bro.
Oh yeah, Staples.
That's crazy, actually.
Like,
so, but overall, right? Because we'll get into it, obviously, about how you ended up in Crash Crew, but which one did you like better?
I love tanks, dude.
Well, as far as the schoolhouse.
Schoolhouse tanks.
Tanks, yeah.
Dude.
Even though you were living in a squad bay,
Yes.
like, yeah. And how long is it?
3 months.
3 months. Okay.
5 months or 2 months with waiting.
Uh-huh.
And then obviously 3 months
like
of
post
training.
or pre and post waiting. Okay, gotcha. And then so after that, did you guys get to take leave after you graduated?
No.
Just straight
just
to
got straight.
And
you also got to realize my situation was different.
Why is that?
Because since I was the last class.
Oh, you were the last tanks class.
I had the last certificate.
Oh, so, okay.
The last.
Did you guys know that you were the last class when you were in school?
A month before.
So did any of the instructors or whoever brief you that, hey, you're gonna graduate tanks, but when you get to the fleet, they're most likely it's gonna get disbanded?
Oh yeah.
Oh, really?
Drilled into us.
Oh, that's interesting. So you already knew.
Yeah, we were
by the time you got to the fleet.
2.5 months in, word came down the pipe. It was like, hey, no shit, like tanks is getting disbanded.
Yeah.
And it's not like a rumor anymore.
Right.
Then a month before graduation, they were like, hey, it's no shit happening. You guys are the last class. We had 2 other classes behind us.
Yep.
They got reclassed. Like automatically.
Oh, from the schoolhouse, they got reclassed. Okay.
AV, LAR,
right,
grunt units,
and so
wherever they could throw bodies at, they were just like.
So even if they were in the schoolhouse for like a month at that time, they went somewhere else and they started that schoolhouse.
Yeah, our junior class got disbanded like that.
Hope I'm not too late. What up, Gomez? No, we're about what, like 30 minutes in. We're just getting into the conversation, kind of, I'd say. But thank you for stopping in, brother. I appreciate it. And so you basically you graduated the schoolhouse, you got the certificate for tanks, you got stationed here.
All right, let me run it for you, step by step. So September, went to MCT.
No, I have not been to Ireland.
End of September, graduated, went to tank schoolhouse. Yep. So it was February. Graduated March.
Got it.
Got the note saying, hey, might not be happening. You guys all might be getting reclassed.
Okay.
And we're like, okay, well, if you're going to do it, why didn't you do it earlier? Everyone was like pissed because by that time we already spent 4 months in.
Okay, right. So why wouldn't you just reclass me sooner?
And then we made it to graduation day.
Yep.
And our first sergeant and Master Guns came out. Like, oh, by the way, you guys might not be graduating.
Wow.
And we might just remoss all y'all. And we're like, you're telling me we did 5 months.
Remoss, for the people in here, means re-MOS. But okay, go on.
Like, we did 5 months of torture because we did recoveries.
Yeah, you did the whole 9 yards. You basically graduated, and then you were getting told that you might not graduate.
Yep. And on that day, so March 19th, that whole morning was all the higher ups going back and forth, like saying, "Oh, you guys are gonna get a ceremony, graduate. Oh, you guys are not gonna graduate." And then finally, they were like, "Okay, you guys are all gonna graduate, and you guys are gonna go to your designated places."
Yeah.
And then after that,
you're gonna get remossed.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay, so you had to do the full move. You traveled across the country.
Yep.
With all your shit.
Oh yeah.
Prepared to get here.
Got first class seats because of that.
And then you got here. You got to your unit. Yep. And how long were you at your unit before you got told you were getting re-MOS?
So from March to August, we were doing stuff.
Like tanks wise.
Yes.
Okay, and then
end of August we officially disbanded.
got it. And that entire time, I'm assuming you're getting briefed like probably weekly on the fact that you guys are getting.
We were doing maintenance on tanks. My buddy decided to put too much oil in the Benko's tank, so it blew out all the seals.
Got it. Okay, so you guys were kind of not even in the know at all. You thought maybe
we knew it was getting disbanded. Like we knew
but you didn't know
it was gonna be like tanked and like taken apart. But we were still doing our regular op time.
Got it. Now, were you doing that stuff, or were they having you do that stuff in preparation for the tanks being moved or something? Or
no, it was just it needed to be done.
It just needed to be done.
It was just like a regular day.
Right.
And, like nothing was gonna happen to the unit.
And then all of a sudden,
all the tanks got to be up.
The next week, you are out of there. So, wow. Okay, so then let me ask you this: you guys get told, "Hey, tanks is disbanded," right? Two questions. One, what happens to the tanks?
So some of them got sent to Albany.
That's
where our storage depot is. Then another portion got sent to the.
Got it. So just repurposed.
Yep.
Got it. Okay. So then for you and all the other Marines, you were told, "Hey, we're getting disbanded. How does the like re-MOS work? Did you get a choice?"
So the way it worked is if you had less than 2 years on contract,
okay,
you were good to get out. So like all my corporals that had 2 years and less,
they
got out.
So they essentially they got to finish their contract early.
Oh yeah.
Whoa, I didn't know. A lot of
my corporals, sergeants, staff NCOs, like they got out.
That's crazy.
And, like a handful stayed.
Like, right.
Most of the officers stayed because they got
sure.
They just continued.
They have different like for Captain Shitani. Different avenues for them.
And then if you had less than 2 or more than 2 years,
gotcha.
You got fapped out
to like S3 or
whatever unit needed bodies.
Gotcha.
You just got fapped out,
and you didn't get a choice on that.
No, my first sergeant totally screwed me on that.
And is that where the MP comes in?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get into that, but keep going. So you had either you being able to end your contract, you being able to
forcefully fap to a different unit to finish out your contract.
Okay.
Or you lat move.
And you were allowed to start a lat move package. Okay, gotcha. Now, so that's interesting because you technically lat moved, right? But you lat moved after you got fapped.
I OJT'd.
To MP.
So there's two. So for you to get certifications in an MOS, you can do it 2 ways. You lat move the official way, and you get the fancy certificate saying, "Hey,
I am this MOS," right?
Or you do what's called OJT, and you have to do all their training though.
Oh, so that's where you went MP, but you didn't go.
I didn't go to the schoolhouse, but I did everything on the job training.
To where you were allowed to participate in the MP duties, right? Now, was that because you got fapped there, or?
So originally they didn't give us the option.
Okay,
but
and what was your instruction from your leadership on? Okay, you're getting fapped to MP, right?
Yep.
Were you told you're gonna have an option to lat move from there?
Fuck no.
Oh, really? It was like you're just gonna finish out your contract there.
No, they didn't even help us. They kind of just threw us on the water and like, hey, sink or swim.
Gotcha. And then so basically just passing you off to that leadership over at the new.
Figure it out.
At the new whatever, and being able to make your own decision or have them deal with whoever was coming to them.
Yep.
Gotcha. How many other Marines got fapped with you?
A lot.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Okay. And did any of those Marines that were here, and actually, I digress for a second. How many tanks units were there?
Or 2. So you have first tanks.
Okay.
And then fourth tanks.
And first tanks was here? And then fourth tanks was
here.
Oh, here.
Yeah.
Where?
You know where the ESG supply building is?
Oh no. I'm saying as far. Oh, both units were on
Yes,
29
yes.
pumps. The only tank units in the Marine Corps were both on 29 pumps.
No.
That's what I'm asking.
Okay, first tanks was here.
Yep.
Second tank is Lejeune.
Okay.
Third tanks, I believe it was either Hawaii or it was one of the overseas.
Got it.
And then fourth tanks was here.
Okay, so 2 of the tanks units were here.
And then obviously I is like spread throughout the.
Yeah. Okay, gotcha. So you Staples is going crazy with the characters right now. Okay, so how many did anyone else that was a part of you and getting disbanded from the fleet, did they get sent to another base? Or was everyone from like 29 who got disbanded dispersed throughout 29?
We got dispersed throughout the whole.
Okay, gotcha. So you had the possibility of being FAP to Pendleton.
No, not FAP, but it was like if you were getting FAP'd, obviously it's within.
It was within 29.
Within 29
okay.
pumps.
If you were lat moving,
then
boom.
you got.
And if you were getting out, you were getting out. Got it. Okay. And then so you were told, you did not choose, you were told, hey, you guys, this group of Marines is going MP, right?
Yeah.
You get over there, and same process as like our lat movers, kind of like, or our OJT guys, you had to check into a new unit.
Yep, so check in, so you have like, I believe it's a 2-week long, I don't remember exactly how long it is.
Okay.
But like it was like a 2-week long school where you sit in class.
Oh, so they
from like 8 to 16:30.
Oh, so they put you through like a
and they'll run you through like basic gate procedures, basic how to spot a DUI, how to spot like domestic violence.
Got it. So like you were saying, you don't get
that way because
it's not a full lat move.
Yeah, so FAP cycle is basically you work the gate. That way,
yeah. You
the
can
MPs can work the road and actually go to calls and like do their job.
Right. And so mainly every person you see at the gate is a FAP.
Yeah, so if they don't have a shiny badge, they're a FAP.
They're a FAP. That's crazy. And I will say this right now for whoever's in here, that sucks. I would hate it if I got to the fleet and freaking got fapped out to the gate. It was the
best time of my life.
I'd throw everyone's cack on the ground and be like,
no.
Oh, hi, how you doing? That sucks. No. Get out of here.
You want to know the crazy part?
That would suck.
We had the main gate. If you so like 2020, we had like 8 at main gate.
Okay.
And you're out there for 12 hours.
Well, right. There's a rotation. The rotation sucks, but
no, you and your partner usually sit or like you're scanning IDs, and like if you time it right during night shift, and you get like the middle of the night, so like from 11 to like 2.
Okay.
You're doing nothing. You just sit in the shack.
Right, that little tiny hut. You're just sitting there. Does that thing have air conditioning?
Yes.
It does. Where's the bathroom? In the visitor center? Okay. Okay, that's interesting. And are you guys allowed to be on your phones?
Technically no, but we are.
In the shack?
Yes. In the shack, obviously.
You're kind of like off shift in the shack.
No, you're on shift. It's just you're allowed to be on your phone. Don't get caught.
Okay, got it.
You're not allowed to sleep.
Sure, that makes sense. Caught. That makes sense. But you're doing that shift is, you said 12 hours?
Yep.
And then what do you have, 12 hours off?
Yep. And then, so remember, it's modified 48.
Okay, so you got 12 hours on, 12 hours off, 12 hours on, 12 hours off, and then 2 days off.
Yep.
Oh,
and then every other weekend. So you're working say we work today, tomorrow. So Monday, Tuesday, we're on. Wednesday, Thursday, we're off.
Got it.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we're working.
Got it.
Monday, Tuesday off. But Tuesday is training Tuesday. So that's when you come in for like 2 hours and you train.
Sure. But like, that's normal.
Yeah.
You're not on shift. Okay. And did you get fapped so you went to the MP, right? You went through the 2-week course, and then were they like, gate?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And how long did you do that?
Bro, the whole time I was there.
The whole time.
Whole time meaning like.
Well, because you're not an official MP, so you can't like be in the squad car essentially.
No, so that's where it changed.
Okay.
So myself and some other corporals that I knew, we fought for a select group of individuals who have the rights
To be able
to do
not necessarily drive.
No, we were driving.
Oh,
dude, I have my
the license to
Yeah.
do it. Oh, that's cool. Okay, well then, and they allowed it due to the fact that that unique.
that's where
Group.
the OJT part comes in. So if you passed OJT,
Got it.
then you were allowed to do it.
Oh, okay. I see what
But you
you're
were getting I forgot what it was called. But it was like a whole like a handbook, basically of everything an MP should know from the schoolhouse and from your
and basically
partner.
stating, hey, you might not have the certification, but you've passed the essentials to.
Not the essentials. We trained with Sam Bernardino, like we've done all the training
that they would have to do.
Yes.
Got it. Okay, so they allowed you to do it with that. Okay, that's interesting. I mean, and so you're in, you go boot camp, ITB, schoolhouse.
Mhm.
That's a total of what? A year? You said 5 months you were at the schoolhouse, so
3,
4,
9 months. Yeah.
So okay, 9 months.
9 months get to the
You
fleet.
get to the fleet.
Fleet plus.
So you're in the Marine Corps for about a year.
Yeah, like
a year before you get to MP. You're at MP for how long? MP, I feel like I didn't introduce this. MP is Marine Police. So let's just, I'm abbreviate that, and I don't know who's in here who knows about it, but if you don't, it's the Marine Police, right? Military Police. Sorry. Okay, so you get over there. You're a year in. How long are you with them?
August. I left for. Yeah, so August. That's a year. August, September, October, November. So a year and 3 months. I was with PMO from August of 2020.
Got it.
To November of 21.
Okay.
I got my official orders to go to the Fire Academy.
Okay. Well, hold on. Okay, so now this is so interesting. So you're a year in. You get to PMO.
Yep.
You're there for a year and a half. You said.
A year and 3 or 4 months.
But by the time you got your package in for the school, it was probably
like
a year and a half. So you're now at 2.5 years in the Marine Corps.
Yeah, almost finishing 3.
You joined with one MOS.
Yep.
You did that MOS for 6 months,
basically.
Now and then went to a new MOS.
Yep, did that for longer.
Did that for longer than your original contract.
Yep.
For a year and a half, and then and where does this decision come in? Because you still have at least 2 years left on your. Well,
no. By that time, so by the time I lap moved, I had
2.5 years. Well, no. Before lap move.
Yeah, no. Before
you had a year and a half left.
I had a year left.
A year left. Yeah, I guess because you were at 2.5 years. A year would put you at like 3.5.
Yep.
And then you'd be getting out. Right. So you're at a year and some change left, and you decide you want to lap move.
So yes.
Okay.
Biggest thing is I wasn't enjoying my time. And
at PMO.
Oh, look, Sullivan's calling.
Oh. So you're at PMO.
Yeah.
And you're like, what made you while being FAP'd, going through this whole process, what made you be like, I want to lap move to a different MO?
It was kind of like a forced lap move. You know how we sent Eddie to talk with the career planner?
Yeah.
So it was like that. So there was a handful of guys that got like overlooked.
Well, I mean, the career planner has like scheduled meetings.
No,
right?
I'm talking. It's like a situation like that. So like a handful of us got overlooked by the Marine Corps itself.
Oh, so kind of like forgotten about.
Yeah, because they were like, "Oh, we had a name with this unit that got disbanded, and we tossed him to this unit. Let's forget about him."
So they're getting lost in the paperwork.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then my old partner, I don't know if you got to meet him. Retired colonel at Haskell.
Was he at your
White dude?
promotion
Yes.
with the girl?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I remember
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
So, great dude. He's the one that told me like, hey, you don't have to sign a whole like another contract.
You can do an
You
extension.
can do an extension, but ask for a minimum extension. See what they can give you where you meet the 2 years
Requirement.
requirement. So I was talking with the career planner, and she was like, "Hey, this is what you had to sign." And it was a year extension because I had a year left on contract.
So they would put you at 2 years in the Marine Corps.
That would put me at 2 years, so that would be a 5-year contract total.
Got it.
And I signed it and went to the schoolhouse, enjoyed it, and here we are.
Okay, gotcha. So for the people that don't know, right, that is like, it's a serious issue.
Dude, it's a roller coaster.
So for the people that don't know, that is very like out of the norm, especially for the extensions in the Marine Corps. Being like, why I say that is because if you're new or don't know about the Marine Corps, you getting extended in the Marine Corps is not as easy as that.
It's so rare.
And it's very rare in his scenario. And the Marines in that bubble of like tanks at that point were definitely in a unique scenario where they were accepting those extensions because these Marines had essentially been forgotten about and they couldn't just like say, oh, well, we wasted all this money on these guys. Just get out of the Marine Corps now. Right. So it would have been such a loss of money for the Marine Corps where they definitely were in the position of having to accept these extensions. And which is interesting. Did a lot of your buddies that you were at MP with?
Oh, they got out after the first cycle.
Okay, they were like, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. And so you extended for a year, and then with that extension, we're putting in the crash crew contract. Okay. And so you got approved to go to the schoolhouse.
Mm-hmm.
You got to the schoolhouse now when? In
November of
2021. Okay, and you're essentially at 3 years now in the Marine Corps.
Yep.
You're at the schoolhouse. You were at the schoolhouse for 3 months. Yeah. And you
got demoted.
Okay, well, we can get into that maybe. But so you are at the schoolhouse, and were they like, did they give you the standard wish list of like East Coast, West Coast? Did you get the? Or were they like, hey, you're coming back?
I had to come back because it was TAD orders. Because
to the schoolhouse?
Yes. So like, I had to basically go there, pass,
graduate, right?
And if I didn't pass, that was like the safety net.
Oh, on like, oh, you'll get out after that.
Yes.
Got it. So
that way, if I went there with, say, like, I fully PCS there, and then I failed,
right,
and then now they have to PCS me back. So it was just like, hey, you're gonna check out of your room because we know you don't have a lot of shit.
Right.
Go to the schoolhouse as TAD. Pass. Come back, fully check out, then go to your knee.
Okay, so that's interesting because you were coming back here to check out.
Yeah, and then I got snagged.
So, but did you find out about that at the schoolhouse or here?
Here.
So,
I got orders to go either Palantir, Miramar, Yuma.
So you graduated the schoolhouse. You came back. You're like, okay, hey, here, I'm a 751 now. You go to check out of the Marine Corps, or I'm sorry, out of the unit, and the career planner, I'm assuming?
No.
It
was one of the
first sergeants, or
no. So once again, name on the list. I don't know what's up with it, but like I always get overlooked.
Okay.
But then I get looked at the right time.
Got it.
So someone, I'm guessing the career planner, not
was
the career
like,
planner,
hey, this.
I think it was like first sergeant and our monitor. And some of the old guys that were stationed here.
Yep.
They were looking at a roster. You know how when the roster pops up, it says rank or last name, first name, MOS, and all that.
Yep.
They looked and they were like, "Oh, hey, why do we have a crash crew guy at PMO?"
Oh, so you were coming up at 7051 under the morning report for PMO.
Yep.
And they were like, what the hell is this?
Yep.
And so at that point, did they
were like-
just not even give you an option? They were just like,
Yeah, because what happened
boom,
was
move over.
I was in the process of checking out,
Uh-huh.
and one of the corporals here.
But
that
during that checkout process, you didn't have any idea where you were going.
I had no idea where I was going.
You were just
All
going
I
through
knew
the
was
motion.
I did my time here,
Yep.
and I was guaranteed a spot out of here.
Somewhere else.
And
But
I
the checkout process is, I mean, at max, like a week long,
Yeah.
maybe, you know what I mean? And that week you were just like, I still don't know where I'm going.
Yeah.
So you were,
literally,
you were checking out of somewhere with no intention of, like, for people that don't know, when you check out of a unit, you don't live in the barracks anymore. You're
free floating.
You're free floating.
Like,
so this guy was just checking out, and then with no idea where you would be going next.
no clue.
Okay, and then at what point in the checkout process? Early on, later on?
It was early.
It was early. Okay, so like
I was getting or got back. I was doing I went to S1.
Yep.
And I was like grabbing my paperwork,
doing the signature, and they were like,
and then they were like, "Hey," and then I got a phone call from this corporal, which I really hate to this day.
crash crew guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Female, and she tried to be. Was like, "Hey, by the way, where are you at?" And I was like, "Who are you?" And I'm checking out. Like, no, you're coming here.
Oh, so crash crew was contacted and
Yeah.
basically was like, hey, you're getting a Marine on the roster.
Yep.
He's here on 29. Here's his contact information. Get him over here.
Yep.
And so basically, I'm assuming now what you had to do was you checked out of your unit with
I didn't
MP.
even check out because by that time,
Well, I figured you would have to check into headquarters battalion.
that's the thing. So by that time, it was like that weird loophole where 374 was still a thing.
Okay.
But 374 was transitioning into ESD, and ESD is still under headquarters.
And MPs are a part of ESD.
Yeah, PMO is part of headquarters, so they really
also
name and put it on a different roster.
Also, this is funny because for people that don't know, the unit that we're now a part of, and we work with 7051s over here at 29 Palms, that, what, in 2021 you said? 2022 did it disband?
22 at end of 20.
We'll say 22. In 2022, the wing unit here at 29 Palms 7051, the 374 was disbanded as well because the airfield, we can get into that, but like the airfield was just too small for them to have the wing unit and an ARFF unit, right? So they just took it away, right? So he was going from a disbanded unit going to MP to not getting told to then checking into another disbanded unit. That's insane. Okay, so you were called by the crash crew Marine. You were said they told you, hey, you're on our roster, you're checking in here. And at that point, were you thinking to yourself, what the hell? Like,
oh yeah, I contacted. So I was pulling every string I knew.
Okay, so you were trying to figure out why the hell I'm staying here.
Working with PMO, obviously, you learn to network a lot. So I've networked with a lot of higher ups. So I was like making left and right phone calls, having my old partner make phone calls on my behalf.
Got it.
And I just wanted to get out of here.
Right.
And they're like,
sorry, no can do.
Yeah.
Okay, and you basically didn't have to check out anymore because you were already part of the unit, and you were told, hey, you're now in this barracks.
Yep.
And you just showed up to work one day.
Basically. I turned in all my PMO stuff, so
did you have a check-in with like first sergeant and stuff, like a normal?
Nope. By that time, I already knew them because working with PMO.
Oh, because you were already part of the unit.
So
you literally just on a Monday, they were just like, hey, show up Camp Wilson. And
yeah, you want to know the crazy thing? I have notes on my thing because I didn't know where it was. And one of the notes says, check into MWSS 374 ESD question mark. Because I didn't know if I'm checking it to ESD or 374.
That is
Like-
crazy. Oh, not this. I hate when TikTok does. Like the text, not like
Working with the screen.
yeah, I'm not like touching
Yeah.
for a certain amount of time and stuff. So I have to like, okay, so you just, I'm assuming it was a Monday. You just showed up on a
Dude,
Monday.
yeah, I don't remember when.
What? Yeah,
But like it was a random day of the
but
week.
it's 2022 now.
Yes.
Okay, and you are still on the 1-year extension.
Yeah.
Okay, you get to
The
ARFF
year extension ended in
2023. I'm assuming, right? So because technically it would have put you at 2 years left, and then 2023 rolled around, and
then
you've been at Crash Crew now for a year at that point, and so you get told by I'm assuming the career planner, like, hey, you're like,
I'm coming up on my less than a year mark. There you have to re-enlist or get out, and I was like, oh.
Okay, gotcha. And well, and this is my question, because you're leaving in March, so he's PCSing because due to his reenlistment, he's PCSing in March of this year, so next month. And what I'm confused about is because if you got to Crash Crew in, you said 2022.
Paperwork took so long, so I put my package in.
Okay.
In 2023.
Okay.
But the paperwork of it going back and forth because of the track
track
record of like going from like 2 other units, this unit, and then figuring out like
who you even are, what your process was.
Yep.
Was probably hard to track at the higher level. So it took over a year for you to get your paperwork back.
Basically, because I didn't re-enlist till technically on paper. So I believe like April of last year.
Oh, so you didn't put pen to paper
until last year, yeah.
Last year. Okay, so it took basically a full year. And did they have to extend you for that too?
So I believe the paperwork I signed was like, hey, I already willingly accept a 4-year enlistment.
Now, did that enlistment start from 2024?
4, 5, 6.
Okay, so it started in 2024.
Yeah.
But they didn't have your EAS,
original EAS,
or, PCS until March of 2025.
Yep.
Because they were waiting for your original EAS to hit, I'm assuming?
It's something like that. It's something either... Because you know how sergeant spots and like corporal spots are always like filled?
Yeah.
So I think they were just waiting for like pieces to move around. So
okay, and they essentially gave you that date of March.
Yeah,
right?
They were like to show up before March or no.
They gave you no later,
1st,
earlier, no later than date.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Okay, and so, okay, then this is my next question, right? Because clearly this process has taken an unbelievable amount of time, right? I don't even know what in the year that you were here, and from essentially from my understanding, 2023 to 2024. What made you say I want to re-enlist after all of this time frame?
Honestly,
did you get a chance to speak with the monitor? That's a good question.
Yes, I did.
The Crash Crew monitor.
Yes.
Okay,
that's why I got you. You literally called me personally because of our gunny.
Was that before or after you decided to re-enlist though?
That was after.
Okay. So then that works, right?
Reason why I re-enlisted.
Yeah, why?
Because of the Marines. I'm telling you right now, like
just of the individuals that you met.
So I got that weird chance because I went into the schoolhouse as a corporal.
Right.
So all the pipeline students that went to Pendleton, Miramar, Yuma,
yeah,
like Eddie and Scout, and I was their corporal.
Right.
So like, obviously staying here, I told them I was like, hey, I'll get to see you guys in the fleet. Like, I'll work with you guys and everything.
Okay.
And then they came back for ITX. I helped them out.
Sure.
Because I was a corporal at the time. They were like, corporal, we would love to work with you.
Yep.
And like,
so
just helping them out and like seeing that they're doing better and like yes, most NCOs nowadays.
So you
suck
wanted the
ass
opportunity. You wanted the opportunity as someone who came into the MOS,
with literally nothing.
right? But came in as an NCO as
Well,
well.
no, I came in as a Lance, and then I picked up again.
Oh,
Remember?
true. We didn't get into that, but okay. So you were around. You Crash Crew kind of made you want to read.
Yes.
If you didn't go Crash Crew, do you think you would have?
Oh, I would have been out.
You would have been out way before.
Yeah. I would have been out.
Okay.
I would have been a sheriff. Something.
Got it. Okay, so you went through the schoolhouse. You came here. You were through this crazy pipeline of fucking everywhere in the Marine Corps, and then got to Crash Crew here, and you were like, you know what? I want to try it for another 4. Okay, that's cool. Now, after you decided to re-enlist and you talked to the monitor, is that where it was like cherry on top, or that's where you already knew that you were going to re-enlist? You didn't really have any questions other than like where you wanted to go?
I already knew where I wanted to go. Preferably wanted to go to Miramar.
Right.
Because I wanted somewhere like
active.
little.
I mean, you must active.
I didn't care if it was Pendleton, Miramar. I wanted something like nice.
Okay, nice.
Because it was like I wanted a break from the desert.
Yeah. Well, no offense, you're getting the desert again.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. I wanted a little break.
No offense, but you're going right back.
But, I think that's what the Marines see. Like, yes, they've seen me get like shafted multiple times.
I will say this: if you stay in for another one, you're gonna get a good.
No, I know.
You're gonna get hooked up.
There's no other place. Like
now, if you get shafted again, dude, get out. No. No. Okay. So we're gonna be wrapping it up here soon. And really, what I want to get to is, unlike our first guest, who this is his first duty station.
Yeah.
You have been through the ringer with
groundside.
You've seen freaking PMO. You've seen 3 different MOSs, right? You decided to stay in that last MOS. You're doing another 4. You're gonna PCS here soon. So my main question to you would be, what is something that you picked up along your time frame, right? That you plan to take to Yuma as a new sergeant, right? Coming to a new duty station after your entire pipeline that you uniquely went through compared to the average Marine, right? What's something that you're going over there that you want to take with you?
All my Marines, obviously, like, dude, I won't make them do anything I wouldn't do myself.
Okay.
I think that's where a lot of the Marines trust me and like follow me so well. Is because I know if I tell them to do something, it's not because I'm blatantly being like trying to haze them or like put them in an uncomfortable spot or a dangerous spot. It's like they know if I'm telling them to do something, most likely, hey, I've done it, or if they ask for help, I'm gonna do it with them.
Got it. I mean, that's good because I'm as a sergeant, I feel like you're in a unique opportunity, and coming from personal experience where this was my first PCS, just like you're about to embark on your first PCS, and it's a challenging thing because like it is new, but it's not new like you experienced in the beginning of the Marine Corps. Because when you got here for the first time, you were this new Marine who didn't know what to expect, right? Now you've been in the Marine Corps for a good amount of time. You've been able to make your decisions on the Marine Corps and how you view it, right? And how you want to be like a leader. And I think going into a new duty station at that rank, it gives the availability for you to make those decisions and have that like that leadership style and like kind of pick and choose what you want to like bring with you, what you liked from your previous duty station, what you didn't like, and maybe what you want to change at your new station. It's an interesting topic because I feel like there's a lot of Marines in the Marine Corps who have that opportunity multiple times, right? Through multiple re-enlistments. And some do that. Some take it and roll with it and go and make changes in themselves so that they can grow as a leader. And then I will be honest, some don't.
No, that's across the world. Though.
Some don't. Some get, and well, I agree with you. It is across the world.
Because like think about it. Me and you say we work for the same company. We have the same position, but I am more vocal at our meetings.
Okay, sure, but
and like I'm trying to improve on little things.
And
you're just doing your job.
Right. Well, yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's my personal opinion, but I think that in the Marine Corps, no, I'll say the military. I feel like in the military, scratch that. Take the Air Force out of it. In the Army, Navy, and the Marine Corps, I think that
no offense to Air Force guys.
I think that you find that lack of balance more because than like the civilian world, right? Because in your point, you in your point, you were saying how like across the world, which I agree, right? People move from job to job, right? Yeah. And they can take leadership styles, right? But in the Marine Corps, I feel like the people who don't adjust to it are the leaders that get to the ranks that can influence.
Afraid to get.
They're afraid you think they're afraid to change?
One thing I've noticed throughout the time I've been in.
Sure.
Speaking on that topic alone, like the staff NCOs and O's that are like up in that leadership rank where it's
they have influence.
They have very big influence.
Yep.
And like they can write more admins, they can write all this other stuff.
Well, absolutely.
Tweak little
I mean they've worked hard to get there. They've been in for a long time.
But the ones that are incompetent get there because they just somehow know how to slip through the crack.
Okay. I'll agree and disagree. I don't think that I don't think what you're referring to, I don't think there's any incompetent like staff NCOs. I think that what you're trying to say is that I hear you, but I think what you're trying to say is like
PMOs.
Don't give examples. Not the time. Don't give examples. I think what you're trying to say is that at that point, though, like you can tell from a lower ranked perspective, you can tell who
deserved it.
Yes,
who worked their butt off for
it. And who slipped through the cracks, right? Who got to that point because they just stayed in the Marine Corps.
Yep,
right. I will agree that people stay in the Marine Corps long enough, you're gonna get to the rank, right?
Because either you get forced, or if you stay the same rank after a certain amount,
you get forced out. I mean, that is a long time, though. I mean, you see, depending on who you see, gunnery sergeants retire at 20 years, but that's also not like a bad thing because it depends on MOS and and availability.
Some retire as
it's a small, it's a small group. It depends, right? But it's I think that is a good topic of conversation. We're running up on my timestamp right now, so I don't want to, because that could be a whole nother thing that we could get into. But I do think, I will say this, that being individuals who have had the opportunity to PCS somewhere for the first time, I think that if you open your mind a little bit to the Marine Corps and what it has to offer and the people in it, I think that you start to notice who is there because they deserved it.
Oh no,
and put the work in for it. And there's people that are there because they signed the contract again. Right? You know what I mean? I said this joke, and I hope this doesn't offend anyone, but I said this joke at some point when I was a corporal or something, where there was an individual who was a staff NCO, not my staff NCO, but someone in my unit, right, who I worked with, on a weekly basis or something. And that person, we'd always make the joke like, they just forgot to get out. They just literally woke up and were like, damn it, I missed it again. All right, we're signing another 4, like, because they got to that high rank, and you're just like, what the hell? Like, how did they even get? They just woke up and like,
No, they got
wasn't this today?
They got auto renewal on.
Shit.
They just have the auto renewal on.
Yeah, and I feel like that's a funny joke because if I'm remembering correctly, that the individual,
another one.
No, that's fucking Godinez. That's literally.
I know. I'm about to ship him out next week.
No, the
I'm about to bunk him in the case. Man,
I think it's interesting because you do meet those people. You make those judgments, right? But that, in my opinion, is the unique thing about the Marine Corps, because unlike the civilian world and whatever organization you work with out there, yes, there's leadership anywhere you go, any company you work with, right? But the difference about the Marine Corps and that type of company is that you have the opportunity to learn a lot about a military setting type of leadership, right? Whereas it's not some corporate type of leadership. You're not giving seminars, right? And stuff like that.
Like to give seminars.
And it's
I would not.
They forgot to cancel the subscription to the Marine. Yo, that's good. That is true. But like you get a unique opportunity to see different people. You get a unique opportunity to learn from leaders that you might not like their leadership traits. You might like another individual's traits. And you pick and choose what you want to make.
Yeah, I was about to say, one thing that was told to me was you have an empty pie, decide what slice you want to take from your pie.
Right. That's cool. I will say this. I know this is only the second episode, right? However, this was a crazy episode just due to the fact on his pipeline of experience. Yeah. I was excited to have him on because of that. I mean, it's super unique on how he went from the moment he joined from where he is now. He's gone through 3 MOSs. He's gone through the process of having to be told that like his current MOS is being disbanded. Seeing Marines get out at a super early time on their contract, which is so unordinary.
Crazy. Like,
right?
Lance is getting out.
Exactly, right? EAS thing as a Lance with 2 years in the Marine Corps, but it's not like he got kicked out.
They got full benefits. Like
they got the whole thing just like a regular Marine would after 4, but you got to see that side. You got to see the MP side. What?
So for that, it didn't add on to, like, you know how we had that 4-year inactive?
Yes.
It didn't add or tack onto it.
Oh, so he still got to keep his like 4 years and then still just do the 4 years inactive. Yeah. Oh, that's cool too, right? Because like
none of my friends, like, they texted me or they were like, they just got out, started doing their own thing.
So no, don't read. Don't.
Godinez, I'll make sure that it's very cold.
He's unbelievable. He comes in here, he ditches me for the podcast. He ditches me for whale watching. Okay. And then he has the audacity to come in the chat and say some bullshit. Anyway.
Don't worry, Godinez.
So
guess who's on there?
So we will I was really happy. I appreciate you coming on.
I appreciate you
guys
having me on here.
We are going to be ending the podcast tonight. I appreciate everyone who stayed in for the entire thing. I appreciate you guys for coming in here. I'd like to shout out the YouTube again. If you know anyone who you think is interested in this, who would like the conversation, right? Ask him who his favorite leader is. Trying to go to it. Okay.
You already know who it is, and obviously the person texting, because everyone else can.
Well, no, not currently. I asked the same question to Lamb, or actually, Baby Ruthie asked the question in the chat. Who, amongst your entire Marine Corps career so far, who is one leader that stuck out to you, that you would like to like mention and say why they stuck out to you? Like, could be here, could be from the schoolhouse, doesn't matter.
Best part. So, obviously, Gunny P. That's the crazy part, because he's the only one that's allowed me to be, or he's the only one that's ever been like, "Hey, I know you can take care of it. Just go get it done.
Right.
No questions asked, and I get it done, and then just get things done.
Okay, so you just like the fact that he has given
so
you the
much trust, but
He
he also knows, like, hey, I have the
Lamb
knowledge and mindset and skill set to get the objective
Lamb
done.
put it as he has the no, not he has. He gives the Marines the opportunity to be treated like a human being rather than a number, right? And I agree. I think he does a great job at that. It's not ordinary to have someone at that rank be able to, and that's what we were talking about, right? To be able to not cope, but transform with the times and how different people react to things, right?
Yeah, and best part is when he literally tells everyone, I don't have anything to do at work because we get to work done.
Yeah, that is true. It's a good workflow. I agree. Okay. Cool. Well, I will so to end it again, right? I'd like to say thank you to everyone.
Hold on, I got one thing.
Godinez.
I will make sure you go see Matt Sarn Myers.
Matt Sarn Myers, that's a character. I'll say that. This was great. Thank you for stopping in, Staples. So again, if you know anyone who is interested in the conversation, please send them over to the YouTube. They can watch the entire thing back. I'm gonna put timestamps on it again. Or I'm gonna put timestamps on this video. That way you guys can skip to a certain segment that you find interesting, or maybe that person would find more interesting than others. Please shout the stream out. If you know anyone here on Twentynine that you think would be a good guest or a unique guest to have on, please let me know who they are. That way I can reach out to them, see if they have time on Mondays to come in and talk with you guys. And again, just thank you for all the support. And
First Sergeant Parker.
Having a first sergeant in this room would be crazy. But we'll see. Another banger. Hey, thank you for stopping in, Gomez. Hey, tell the Crash Crew guys over in Hawaii about it. Let them know.
That'd be crazy.
Again, having just trying to grow day by day on here is the most important thing. I'm gonna try and post as much content as possible, just to get it out there. I think this is a unique opportunity. I think it's a very unique setting where it's in a barracks room. It's live.
Relaxed.
It's relaxed. It's live with you guys. You guys can ask questions. CJ will be down for next. CJ, you're here on 29, actually, right? DM me on TikTok about it. But thank you for the support, guys. And we will see you next Monday, 5 p.m. Marine Mondays, baby. Good night.
Bye.